being impactful together, I think about what many different organizations are doing. And I think if we look at a big picture, a lot of us are trying to do the same thing in just different ways. And so I like to think of us being really open to listening, Tim, and hearing about what other people are doing. What is your organization doing? What are your concerns? And how can we get creative, maybe get out of our box for the second and work together and be thought partners. Adrian in our booth today shared a statistic about young Black youth and the statistic about how there's such a gap in the opportunity for these training skills in tech. I'm learning and thinking creatively about ways that we can partner, whether it's organizations, individuals, with each other under that same umbrella.
Hello, Blacks United in Leading Technology, Community and Allies. My name is Justin Bell, and I'm the Global CEO at Credera. Credera is a management and technology consulting firm that works with our clients, which are often Fortune 500 type companies and other large mid-market clients, but works with them on their digital transformation journey. And so many of our team members most of our team members are technologists by trade. And so this particular event and this particular community is very near and dear to our hearts. We're about 2,000 employees globally, roughly 9 offices in the United States that have about 1,000 employees amongst those, and then the other half of the company, the other 1,000 people, in offices that are in 20 other cities in other parts of the world, in Europe, in India, and in other parts of Asia Pacific, Australia, New Zealand, and Singapore in particular. And so we've got an incredibly diverse workforce across that set of geographic locations. And over the past really 5 or 6 years, we've been extremely committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion. One of our core values is being people first. And really at the core of that, just believe in the power of unity, but also the power of our differences. And so that's really what we strive for at Credera, is to have representation of many different types of people, but to all come together around those shared values and around a shared mission of making an impact, an extraordinary impact on our people, on our clients, and on the communities that we live and work in. So really, really excited about this gala that we've got here to celebrate today, and each of the allies that will be recognized. For now, I'd like to actually introduce you to my partner at Credera and our Chief Diversity Officer, Nicoria Johnson.
All right, thanks, JB. Hello, Built family. It is so wonderful to meet you tonight here at this gala. We're very excited to be here. And on behalf of Credera, which JB has already talked about, I just appreciate being here with people from my community to celebrate. So JB has already talked to you a lot about Credera, what we believe, who we are, where we're heading with our DE&I journey. Well, I'm here as a fellow Black woman in technology, in leadership, sharing that I truly believe in Built's vision, mission, and platform. And I personally believe it is one of the most impactful and broad-reaching efforts that I have seen as of late to move the needle with representation and to create positive outcomes in our Black tech community. So growing up, like many of you here attending the gala, I have been the only in the room, the only Black, the only woman. And I really look forward to the time where at every company and organization, we can look around and see, and look up and see people that look like us, with the same backgrounds, but with very different stories. That people can show up with strong voices and pride and come every day to work being their best selves. I know that's my vision, and I trust that that's your vision as well. So inclusion is just as important as it is to bring diverse voices to the table, if not more. So how do we create these spaces and places where everyone can connect and feel heard and use their voice and their talents to be the best that they can be? That alone is what makes our companies better, more powerful, more innovative, and more curious. So in our DNA at Credera are our core values. And JB already talked about people first. But we're also a company that is grounded by humility, rooted in integrity, and striving for excellence. And we are tenacious about pursuing equity for all. Our talent truly is what makes us strong. And we look around every corner to unlock extraordinary outcomes by creating the best environment for everyone. So I personally am looking forward to this journey with Built. We have support at Credera to do some truly amazing things with our partnership. We look forward to leaning in, doing more, taking on that deep work, and better serving our community. So thank you, Built, for this wonderful opportunity to engage and go deep. So today, we here at Credera are pleased and honored to welcome you to the 2021 Allyship Awards Gala. And we are so excited about the awards to many of the deserving organizations and allies who truly support the Black tech community. So welcome, and let's go and celebrate together.
Thank you, Justin and Nicoria. It's always great to come after and alongside great, inspiring messages. You set the tone for this event, and you both gave us a strong visual of what allyship looks like. People working together side by side. Hello, I'm Kenesha Washington, your hostess and MC for today's event, and I'm so thrilled to bring you the first annual Allyship Awards Gala for Blacks United in Leading Technology. We at Built emphasize the big U in our name, and this event is a testament to our view that to provide equity in tech, we need to unite people together. Our mission at Built is to increase the representation and participation of Black people in tech. 14% of America is comprised by people with Black skin, yet Black people hold only 7% of the tech jobs. The disparity is much greater in some jurisdictions than others, and Black people have historically been left out of senior leadership roles in tech. The disparity for Black people in tech is significant in America, but the pain from discrimination against people for so many bad reasons is a universal shortcoming for everyone worldwide. We also emphasize the little I in our name, as we are but one of several great organizations which are a part of so many powerful movements to bring about social change to improve lives. While we don't say that Built is special, our members, sponsors, partners, allies, and what we all do together is special. Technology empowers the world, but it also frees people. The wealth derived from lucrative salaries and profits from tech enterprises help families, churches, and their communities, and has the power to transform lives. We do like to say diversity in tech is synonymous for innovation in tech. Black people in particular have learned to survive, thrive, and arise in tech by finding new ways to solve business problems. Naturally, as a people, we approach things differently. Here at Built, we do things different as we target specific demographics, one that includes adults who are pivoting into tech. We have some amazing programs like Built with Senior Management. Invite us to engage with your C-suite to help your DEI initiatives deliver true value. Employee Resource Group Support. You have an ERG, but now what? Partner with Built to energize your affinity groups with spice, fun, and all the things nice to ensure you win with retention, advancement, and recruiting. Uniquely crafted annual sponsorship programs. Smart organizations have learned that you don't meet your diversity goals by simply posting jobs. It all starts with a conversation and a relationship, and we at Built are phenomenal at building community. Come join with us. I grew up in Fort Worth, Texas, knowing very little about technology, careers, and technical resources. When I was growing up, AOL and dial-up internet were things. I earned a bachelor's and master's of science degree in design and merchandising. Over the past 10 years, technology has advanced in so many ways, automating and digitizing our lives. As a natural problem solver, I've begun my own journey learning and applying technical knowledge. Over the years, I've learned so many transferable skills in entrepreneurship, merchandising, design, sales, hospitality, and real estate that I'm utilizing to pivot into tech. I came across and got involved with Built the summer of 2021, and I jumped all the way in. I'm one of the leaders of the North Texas chapter of Built, voted Chapter of the Year, and I serve on the board of directors. I lead the sponsorship committee, and I serve on other committees too. But of all the roles I've served in, the one I'm most honored to help with is serving today as the Gala's MC. Being a small part of this many amazing, good-spirited people brought together today and listening to our message is truly inspiring. And I'm the person who will be awarding the door prizes. That's always fun. We recognized our internal allies last month, but I'd like to thank my colleague and board member, Joy Tony, for recommending that we recognize those who make our journey together possible. Our Allyship Awards are here to stay. And today's event would have not been possible without the support of all of today's great sponsors. We have 3 corporate awards: Partner of the Year, Sponsor of the Year, and Impact Organization of the Year. And 3 individual awards: Speaker of the Year, Keynote Speaker of the Year, and Ally of the Year. And the Innovator of the Year award being one to be given to either an individual or to an organization. The Innovator and Impact Organization awards were added based on feedback from the recognition committee, as the contributions by our allies were different in many ways, and these 2 added superlative awards allowed us to recognize more. Each recipient receives a certificate, a plaque, a medallion, and a commemorative 2021 Ally of the Year polo shirt. You'll see a few of our current leaders, past leaders, new leaders, and Built members providing the awards. We'll share a few tidbits on what made our semifinalists, finalists, and awardees so special, and we hope you all will be a part of the celebration next year. And each of our award recipients have the opportunity to tell you what it means to them to be an ally. We started with the amazing opening from Justin Bell and Nicoria Johnson at Credera, and we end with a brief closing from our chairman, Peter Beasley. Just before the end, I'll host an open mic period where anyone can come to the stage and tell us the importance of allyship. Join the conversation and help us all unite together. But first, let's start off with awarding a door prize. All Built dues-paying members, attendees who paid the $35 attendance fee, and those individuals who attended the expo booths are eligible to win. But as we do at Built, members are treated special and they get 4 times the entry tickets. Each has been assigned 4 entry tickets, and anyone could have gotten entry tickets by attending the expo. But you have to be present to win. Good luck, guys.
First up is our Speaker of the Year award. Hello, I'm Van Richardson, the CIO of iManage, based in Chicago. I am also one of the original directors on the board for Built in its first year and former Chicago Built chapter president. For this year's award period, we have had over 120 presentations and over 130 speakers. This was a very tough award to win, as there are so many great speakers and so many great topics. In fact, we had a multiple-way tie in judging the winner of this award. Some of our audience favorites include a 4-part series in November of 2020 on soft skills and tech. That included a conversation about virtual collaboration by Susan Tedrick, Tia Hopkins on emotional intelligence, the not so soft skill, Najida Lindsay on how to create a personal brand, Javon Wooden, where does compassion fit in? We also had a 4-part series in December of 2020 with the employees of CINAC on what life is really like working in cybersecurity.
Great, that's phenomenal. I'm just going to state the obvious here. I see the logo up in the upper left. You know, it's might be your background, and it's red to the left. You might be knowing where I'm going next. And then you have a globe from my screen on the right, and it's got some red in it too. Are you like just being really color coordinated, or were you in a rock band first? Is that you just look like a software developer? That's really what you look like, a software developer.
Yep,
or a rocker.
Yeah, but I've had this for a while actually. I rolled up to my one of the first security conferences I went to with the red hair for fun, and I sent a selfie to my mom, and she was like, "Well, I'm glad that's not your real hair." So that was fun.
Awesome, awesome. So with that, I mean, all we can do next is just talk about Paul, and so we'll talk about Paul and his hair and what he does, and we will come back to you, Andy, and just ask a little bit more about software development and what you do. But Paul, you know, where are you at? Where are you from? What do you do? Just let us know a little bit about you.
Sure. Well, thanks for having me. Again, my name is Paul Grigsby. So I live in Maryland. I'm originally from the Maryland Upper Marlboro specifically. So I've been, living in the Maryland, DC area for most of my life here. Went to school, grew up here. I'm a program manager at CINAC. So what that means is because CINAC is a crowdsourced penetration testing service, company, I'm the man that works with our customers to provide the service. So I'm working with the customers day to day to coordinate and schedule testing to occur, to follow up on results, to report on the findings, to help them work through their mitigations as needed, and to ultimately make sure that they have an excellent outcome from beginning to end.
Pretty important role, working with the customers directly, right?
Yes, that's correct.
But the software has got to be king, isn't it? Or,
so the software is definitely important, but I'm sure Tracy will back me up here, but the most important is our researchers. So they're the ones that actually for the customers that get reported to them.
You seem like a team player there.
Thank you, Paul.
Yes,
Well
good answer. Team player. Very good. Very good. So I'm just noticing, though, a little duality here and style and even your role. So software development, isn't that a little artsy, or is it more science, would you say, Andy?
Oh, I feel like it's a craft, probably. That's about the best thing I've figured out during my career. There are aspects of it that are hard science. We generally don't deal with those on an everyday basis. We have computer scientists in academia doing a lot of that stuff, but it's engineering, it's duct tape, plumbing. Sometimes I've heard it called. I think it's a little bit of everything. Sometimes there's an art to it. Sometimes it feels like writing. Other times it's banging your head against the keyboard in frustration after 3 hours of looking for a comma.
Looking for a comma. Yeah. So a craft. I love that. That's artsy too. Building something, creating something out of keystrokes. In many cases in your mind. And so, Paul.
In the June 12th, 2021 workshop by Christopher Plumley on how to succeed as an African-American in corporate America.
So we're going to take you guys through over the course of the next probably 45 minutes or so, and then we're going to open it up for questions, is how to succeed in corporate America as an African-American. And you guys might say, hey, you guys are old. What the heck could you possibly teach us millennials and these Z folks? What I will tell you is we've been in your shoes. The first commandment, and this may be the most important out of the 10, is the culture is sacrosanct. And we really talk about that and how critically important that is. So if you only take away one kernel tonight, please jot that one down. How you fit in and how you acclimate to the culture will either help propel you in your career, or you will find that it can be a very significant inhibitor, and it can be ultimately deleterious to your career.
While our chapter leaders are eligible for the award, our board members are not. However, we want to make sure you recognize our board member speakers. John Mallinson did 26 sessions as he led ethical hacking courses. Peter Beasley led 5 for his unique presentations over multiple events. Kanisha Washington also led 3 unique presentations over multiple events, and most importantly, her leadership in delivering today's Gala Awards presentation. We also want to recognize Terrence Bunkley for his 6 presentations, both virtually and recently in person, on many career-oriented and technical topics. We recognize Mr. Bunkley as our Built Technical Professional of the Year, and we thank him again for his continued contributions. Certainly, last but not least, we want to thank our elected officials, the Honorable Jim Kenney, Mayor of City of Philadelphia, and the Honorable Eric Johnson, Mayor of Dallas, for their gracious welcoming speeches in their respective cities. And as I open up the judge's envelope, let's reflect on what a speaker is. While there are various types of speakers, the vital role of a speaker is to articulate a message in a straightforward manner and engages the audience and informs them in a way that encourages them to take an action. The reality is, we engage with speakers every day. The importance of their role should not be underestimated. That's it. So I'm proud to announce that the Blacks United in Leading Technology 2021 Allyship Speaker of the Year, Mr. Michael Anderson, former Chief Information Security Officer for Dallas County. Mr. Anderson spoke in a 3-part series about cybersecurity. And recognizing his talents, he also served providing the opening keynote on June 12, 2021 at our North Texas Black Tech Symposium. Mr. Michael Anderson.
Hello, Built family. This is Michael Anderson, Vice President of Cybersecurity at MTX Group. I am so excited to receive this recognition. Around 2 years ago, I started doing some work with Built, and it was predicated on their creed. And the creed says these words: we believe, and it is proven, technology saves lives, empowers people, and increases the quality of life for everyone. It is proven diverse technology teams deliver these ideals best, and the diversity produces innovation. Growing up in technology, I didn't have an organization like this to help lead and guide and coach and mentor me from one level to the next. And when I saw that that was the principal and prime mission for Built, I knew I wanted to be a part of it. So over the past 2 years, I've had the opportunity to do 6 or so presentations. And there's been just a tremendous outreach from various team members as a result of that. And so I've been able to touch a number of lives. As many of you know, 15 years ago, public speaking was not on my radar. It was the one thing that I probably feared the most. And today, as a result of the rigor that has gone into the voting process, I get to receive this award for this cause. And so I wish to thank the Built board, all of their sponsors, the governing body, and all of the folks who casted a vote for me to make this a reality. This is a tremendous honor, and I wish to thank each and every member. Thank you so much.
Next up is the Keynote Speaker of the Year Award. Hello, I'm John Melanson, Senior Cybersecurity Manager at Raytheon Technologies. I also serve as Vice Chair of the Board for Built and co-lead our Los Angeles chapter. For this year's award period, we had 14 semifinalists. Our third runner-up is Mrs. Trina L. Hill, Senior Vice President of Technology Consumer Bank and Treasury at Synchrony in Atlanta. Mrs. Hill spoke as a closing keynote at our recent end-of-year holiday gala, where she delivered inspiring words in support of the Built family.
There were people in corporate America, outside of corporate America, who would pull me to the side and they would encourage me. They would open up doors and allow me to come in and sit and listen to meetings. They would pull up seats at tables and make sure that not only was I sitting at the table, but they would make space for me to have a voice at that table. They would give me opportunities where they knew I didn't feel like I was ready for it, but they knew I was ready for it. Very similar to what Sister Ross saw. They saw what I could be, even if I didn't feel like I could be that. And even when they gave me those opportunities, they provide covering for me, because if I made a mistake, they wanted to make sure that they gave me space for grace. And they've done that. They did it in the past, and they continue to do that today. So I'm sure you're wondering, well, why do I even bring that up? I bring that up is because that's everybody's responsibility. It's our responsibility, being Black people in technology, especially Black people in technology, that we take the time to implant seeds, plant these seeds in each other, the generation before, the current generation, and even the generation after. It's really important that as we continue to navigate these spaces, oftentimes being the first, sometimes being the only, that we take the time to plant the seeds. I believe that it is not only just our responsibility. I believe that we want to not only bear fruit, but we want that fruit to continue, which then leads to our legacy. A lot of times we talk about legacy, we always hear about money. We hear about, wealth, generational wealth. And oftentimes we interpret that as money. To me, the most powerful things that I've received from the groups of people who didn't have money, because my parents did not have money, were those lessons of integrity, hard work. I'm a woman of faith, right? It was those small things, self-confidence, making sure I love myself. Right? Those are the things that we need to leave as a part of the legacy of all of us. It takes a few minutes to plant a seed. It takes a few minutes for you to open a door for someone and give them an opportunity. It takes a minute for you to let them sit on the couch and just let them vent and to be an ear. For you to just simply listen, because sometimes we're going through stuff we've never gone through before. We can't call our parents. We have to just go through it. But for you to sit there and just listen, and to meet people at their point of need, that's the call. We are in this space of technology, but it really truly is our place of ministry. And each of you were called, each of you was individually created for such a time as this, with your footprint, with the way you do what you do, for such a time as this, for that 7-year-old girl that stood in line, or the 7-year-old man that you may see in your community, or for that 17-year-old, that 27-year-old, that 37-year-old, and even that 67-year-old that you may just sit with just because he needs to be seen and validated. We are all called to be great. So as you think about the rest of this year, and I'm sure many of you are thinking about your goals, think about where should you be planting seeds? Where should you carve out time to be intentional about spending time, creating opportunities, and leveraging the impact that you have, regardless of your position, for the greater good of those that are coming behind you, those that are sitting beside you, or even for those that have gone before you. Thank you.
We sincerely thank Mrs. Hill for her contribution. Our second runner-up is Mrs. Bobby Alexander, who provided a special keynote presentation at the June 2021 North Texas Black Tech Symposium as she served at IBM as their Worldwide Data Center Facility Senior Manager. Starting as a secretary, Mrs. Alexander spoke on her incredible 39-year, 10-month journey with IBM.
And after that, I came back and I wanted more. I really wanted more. So I was told that I did not have the aptitude to become a computer operator. And this was a VM environment, mainframe VM environment. And I was told that I did not have the aptitude. And in fact, I was given a test called COAT, COAT, Computer Operator Aptitude Test. And I really did not do well on the test. And they could add that with the fact that when I joined, I did not have a college degree to say, you know, you really can't do this job, but I did the job. I did it so well, in fact, that I was promoted to senior computer operator, and I received a leadership award for the work that I did. And so this is kind of the story, that that stuck with me throughout the trajectory. From that, I went to operations analyst, and again received the System Center Manager Award for outstanding support. Following that, I was promoted to advisory. So you can see the progressions that's happening for someone that did not have the aptitude to do the job. And I think that's an important point, because I refuse to be deterred. I was discouraged and I was disappointed, but I turned that disappointment and discouragement into something that, and I talked in my session this morning about the D words. Okay, so disappointment and discouragement, I turned into determination. And I decided that I knew what my capabilities were. I was determined to make sure that if I didn't get it, the reason wasn't because I really didn't have the aptitude, that I didn't have the skills, or that I had not demonstrated that.
Mrs. Alexander began a new journey this past September, serving on the ground floor of Kyndryl, IBM's new independent company that was created following the separation of its managed infrastructure services business. We wish Mrs. Alexander continued career success. Before I open the proverbial judge's envelope, let's reflect on the embodiment of a keynote speaker. A keynote speaker is someone who can condense and communicate the overarching theme of an event effectively and in a short period of time. A keynote speaker sets the tone for the rest of the event. And lastly, the keynote speaker is considered an expert, a guru, and thought leader in the respective profession. Can you feel the excitement? Well, now is the time. The Blacks United in Leading Technology 2021 Allyship Keynote Speaker of the Year Award goes to Mr. Jarek Beeson, who, while in his 30s, is Senior Vice President and Chief Information Security Officer at Epic. Mr. Beeson spoke as the opening keynote at our recent end-of-year holiday gala, where he delivered his 4 foundational principles to build upon. Because nothing lasts if the foundation is not solid. To build something to last, the 4 principles are the hammer principle, the flashlight principle, the overalls principle, and the stairway principle.
The second principle that I want to talk about is the principle of the flashlight. When you hold a flashlight to light someone else's path, you actually light your own path as well. And I remember that because that reminds me to give back, help others, much like what you guys have within this built community. Find the next version of you and show them how to get to where you are, but help them avoid some of the landmines that you had to step in along your career. Take the time to prepare them for the obstacles that just cannot be avoided. Be the example that gives them confidence that someone that looks like them or with a similar background as them can actually make it. John Malunson was that for me back when I was in high school. He was a younger man then, but he spent his weekends helping the likes of myself and others learn computer programming, which in many ways set me off into a career in tech. But the most powerful thing he did was he was a Black man that showed me that not only could I make it in the technology world, that I could actually thrive. It's been said that seeing is believing, but I think you can flip that equation around. When you believe, you see. And he made me believe that someone like myself could make it in tech. And because of that, I saw myself in the career that I'm in now. Me speaking with you guys today is the harvest from the seeds that he planted, knowingly or unknowingly, when I was just in the 10th grade.
our 2021 Allyship Keynote Speaker of the Year, Mr. Jarek Beeson.
Thanks, Built community. This is an absolute honor and the best way to start off my 2022. I want to thank my wife, Monica. She's the one that gave me the swift kick that really pushed me out there and had me producing content and, going after keynotes and just doing things to help the community. I've said that I wanted to help people for a long time, but I didn't know people really wanted to hear from me, what to say, what would be receptive. And she made me get out there, and I'm going to implore you guys to do the same thing. A wise general once said, change a life, leave a legacy. That's immortality. Honestly, that's all I'm really trying to do. If I've changed any lives, if I've helped anybody, then mission accomplished. I'm just trying to help people see in plain sight what I had to learn in hindsight. And if you guys take anything from me, go out there, find somebody that's where you were a year ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago, and just help them take the next step. And if you do that, those seeds will harvest long down the road, and that'll be a life well lived. Once again, guys, thank you for this opportunity. I greatly appreciate it, and you guys have a great day.
Next up is the Partner of the Year Award. Hello, I'm Byron Purdy, Vice President Product Lead of Talent Acquisition at JP Morgan Chase & Co. I'm also one of the co-leaders of the North Texas chapter of Built. We all want and need partners. For us, partners are the mission-aligned nonprofits and corporate entities who provide in-kind products and services aligned with our mission to increase representation and participation of Black people in technology. We have a special affinity for employee resource groups and for corporations who make and display a commitment towards diversity from their CEOs and from the highest levels of their leadership teams. For this year's award period, we had 37 semifinalists. With so many great partners, this was a very tough selection category. We have two organizations who we first must recognize and mention. The City of Philadelphia. The City of Philadelphia hosted the Philadelphia Black Tech Symposium and showcased and highlighted the commitment to diversity of the city's Office of Innovation and Technology, led by CIO Mr. Mark Wheeler. The city and Mr. Wheeler's department provided multiple speakers and several presentations demonstrating how Philadelphia is committed to improving diversity in its technology initiatives and by how they work to provide equitable solutions to all Philadelphians.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming today. My name is Andrew Buss. I'm a Deputy CIO for Innovation at the City of Philadelphia within the Office of Innovation and Technology. And I'm joined by my colleague, Juliet Fink-Yates, who is our Digital Inclusion Manager. Juliet and I have worked together on this issue of digital equity for many years. And we'd like to sort of show you what the city's been working on over the last decade, really, but particularly intensely over the last couple of years, and then maybe look at a little bit of how successful we've been or not. I think we've had some nice successes, and we wanted to share those with you and think about some of the challenges that remain and where we go from here. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about why we have to look at this issue of digital equity at all in Philadelphia. There are some structural barriers.
We look forward to the continued relations and collaboration between Built and with the City of Philadelphia. The African American Executive Networking Group. The African American Executive Networking Group in the Dallas area, led by Mr. Christopher Plumley, stole the show away at our North Texas Black Tech Symposium, delivering a workshop, providing a presentation on entrepreneurism from two executive founders. Mr. Plumley himself also hosted one of the keynote panels, served on the symposium welcome committee, and surprised us all with cash awards he gave out to attendees at one of his sessions.
Hey, this is Christopher Plumley. This is my third session in the last 2 days, so I'm hopeful that I'm getting time and a half. So I'll have to discuss that with Peter Beasley. But we're excited to be with you today. I did want to let you guys know that we've got about the next 50 minutes. We wanted to introduce you to two incredibly successful entrepreneurs, hear about their walk, their journey, and maybe they can impart some kernels to us with regards to lessons they've learned along the way that might help us in our walk and our journey as well. I've known both of these guys forever, both brilliant guys, both incredibly successful at what they do. So I'll open it up by asking each one of them to just introduce themselves and give us a little bit of background about their career arc before they launched their own company, and then we'll jump into their specific companies and what they do. So I'll first turn it over to my good friend, brother Ed Christmas.
Good afternoon, everyone. Chris, thanks for the introduction. Thanks for the invite to participate in this event here. First of all, thank you for introducing me to the BUILT organization.
We have much gratitude for our partner, African American Executive Networking Group. To identify the finalists and the award winner, the selection criteria in no particular order included the type of sponsorship, whether it was an open event presentation, a door prize sponsorship, training, or simply a cash donation. It included the ease of working with the partner staff. It included the length of the partnership, how many RSVPs and attendees of the partner's events, if any, and included the thank yous or feedback provided by the partner or from our customers in appreciation of the partner's efforts. The 4 2021 finalists are ITSMF USA. ITSMF USA is the premier professional organization supporting the IT service management industry. ITSMF USA is the USA chapter for ITSMF International, and the organization has been a mainstay in the broader tech community for over 25 years. ITSMF USA has provided BUILT members free ITIL4 and Lean IT Foundations training and certification opportunities. Reviture. Reviture has partnered with BUILT in many ways, supporting all of our Black Tech symposiums, and with Reviture offering BUILT Paid Into Tech program. Reviture's Kashmir Best and Keenan Harrison have spoken to our audiences on multiple occasions, and when we call for support, Reviture comes through for us and for our BUILT members time and time again.
I'm Kenan Harrison. I'm the Vice President of University Partnerships at Reviture. Some stuff to talk about today that we're very excited about at Reviture. We're working on some of these things explicitly in North Texas, but also nationwide. I'm joined by my colleague in the chat, Kishmar Best, who's our partnership manager. He's in the trenches on this with me. We're going through a lot of really interesting and innovative things, specifically around Delta Path, but also around the idea of a pathway into technology employment and lifelong future-proof job opportunities that also incorporates higher education and educational attainment. My background is from online higher education. So I've spent about the last 10 years working with public and private universities on degree programs and non-degree programs and other upskilling and reskilling opportunities for students across the US and internationally. And Kishmar, my colleague who's joining us in the chat today, and comes to us from the University of Florida, as a matter of fact, and before that was at a number of other public institutions. So we brought a unique perspective to Reviture, and we started to see things that we think could line up in a really interesting way to help Reviture increase the number of people who are interested in tech, and specifically the number of people of color who are interested in tech, to enter the workforce and empower them to achieve their career goals, all while hopefully eliminating completely, or at least in large part, student debt as well.
Butler Business Solutions. Butler Business Solutions, through their managing partner, Tyrone Butler, pioneered BUILT's training and certification offerings, leading off with 3 Lean Six Sigma green and yellow belt courses at a massively reduced pricing for BUILT members.
All right, we'll go to Sheila. Go ahead, Sheila.
First of all, Tyrone, thank you. I learned a lot about Six Sigma. I think that the slides are really good. I think you have some really good slides in there. The 7 deadly waste is excellent slide as you went over that. And the overall, I also liked how you had us speak to Six Sigma. I think that's one of the things that you conveyed in your training, is that not only be able to perform and do it, but you have to be able to talk the lingo and know the terminology. And I think that is very important at that level of a Six Sigma belt levels. So I really appreciate it. Like everyone else had mentioned, I can go and use this today. I do a lot of data analysis. I do some scripting in my job. So I can walk away and use some of the statistical models and present in a way to my customer that will blow them away. So thank you.
Round of applause. There you go. Who's in the pudding? Next up, the man called Miles, putting it in style.
So I think for me,
and our fourth finalist is Sezzle Corporation. All right, we're ready. As I open the judge's envelope, let's reflect on what is a partner. To me, when I think of a partner about to embark on the marriage journey myself, it's someone that you're tied together in spirit or in life for life. That's really what a partner is, a soulmate. So without further ado, the Blacks United in Leading Technology 2021 Allyship Partner of the Year Award goes to Sezzle Corporation of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Sezzle has helped in so many ways. You may not know it, but our first speaker as Built was Sezzle CEO, Charlie Youakim. He weighed in strong with this talk of Founder's View, does white privilege exist, and getting out of your own way. Organizations need back-off assistance, and Sezzle's General Counsel, Kansas Cersei, volunteered and serves as Built's General Counsel. And Sezzle's employees serve and volunteer as mentors in the Built Mentoring Program, where we have regular engagement with Josh DeVale, who leads Sezzle's delivery of the mentoring program. Sezzle provided this comment, which I'll read aloud on their behalf. We are honored to be selected as Built's 2021 Allyship Partner of the Year. As we reflect on the past year and look at the relationships we were able to build between Sezzle team members and Built members, we are overjoyed. We are proud to be contributing to Built's goal of increasing representation and participation of Black people in tech. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Chloe. And thank you to all of the Built team for your hard work and dedication.
Next up is Sponsor of the Year Award. Hi, I'm Peter Beasley, Executive Director for Built. Sponsors are special to us, and as a group, they are one of 4 customer constituents here at Built. We on the board and as an organization maintain a focus on our customer groups where we insist on providing demonstrated value. In many ways, sponsors are a part of our lifeline. For 2021, the semifinalists were selected from the sponsors who paid money or gave financial benefits to Built or to its dues-paying members from September 2020 to December 15th, 2021. For this year's award period, we had 12 semifinalists. To identify the finalists and award winner, the selection criteria in no particular order included the type of sponsorship, whether it was an open event, a door prize sponsorship, training, certification, or simply a cash donation. The ease of working with a sponsor's staff, that's always important. The ease of collecting payments, that's important too. The length of the sponsorship, how many RSVPs and attendees of the sponsored event, if any, and the thank yous or feedback provided by the sponsor or from our customers in appreciation of the sponsor's efforts. The 4 2021 finalists are Target Corporation. We all know and love Target, where 75% of the US population lives within 10 miles of a Target store. They have retail stores in all 50 American states and the District of Columbia, and they have a long legacy of giving 5% of their profits to strengthen local communities. And in that regard, Target employees are proud of providing over 1 million hours of volunteer service to communities each year. Target is headquartered in Minneapolis, Minnesota, its hometown since the first Target store opened in 1962. And one of the sponsored items for Built by Target was their generous gift to allow 6 Built members to attend a 40-hour boot camp and earn their CISSP certification.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Nelson. I'm a software engineer and I was one of the recipients of the CISSP scholarship from Built. I attended the 1-week training and I learned an incredible amount of valuable techniques. The learning will be useful in my career because now not only can I design, build, test, and deploy applications, but I can do so more securely. Thank you, Target and Built, for this opportunity to grow and to help me provide more value to my customers. It was very beneficial and very much appreciated.
Our next finalist, American Airlines. It's simply American to fly the friendly skies. Think about it. American Airlines cares for people on life's journeys, and this mission extends beyond the airline and into the communities they serve. American Airlines believe they have not just an opportunity, but a responsibility to engage their team members and maximize the resources of a global airline to make a difference to those who need it most. Our third finalist, Synac Corporation. Synac comes to us as the most trusted crowdsourced security platform in the world. Careers in cybersecurity remain a focus area for us at Built, as nearly 600,000 cybersecurity jobs are open seeking employees, which we hope are filled by including the Black tech community. Synac includes Built members in their Synac Academy, which provides up-and-coming individuals from underrepresented minority groups access to future career pathways in technology and cybersecurity through support-driven programs. And our fourth finalist for Sponsor of the Year is Sezzle Corporation, who we've already recognized as our 2021 Partner of the Year. So as I open the judge's envelope, let's all reflect on what's a sponsor. To me, I think of a sponsor as being an ambassador, someone who takes care of you, someone who paves the way and eliminates roadblocks, like those we all face in life. So the Blacks United in Leading Technology 2021 Allyship Sponsor of the Year Award goes to American Airlines. American Airlines is a platinum sponsor for the North Texas chapter of Built. American Airlines has invested in building a lasting and ongoing relationship in the North Texas Black tech community, and their annual program includes speaking at and participating in the past North Texas Black Tech Symposium, hosting and sponsoring multiple in-person technology networking events all across the Metroplex, hosting an upcoming Innovation Spotlight, and delivering 4 on-campus and off-campus open presentations. This past October 26th, American hosted a fabulous Taking Off into Tech networking and career program at their fantastic corporate campus, where they showcased in an innovative way some of their newest Black tech employees and their flight at American into the world of tech. As further investment in us here at Built, in less than a year, American Airlines has donated over 100,000 frequent flyer miles to our members over several events. Yes, we do love American Airlines. But what we like most is their technology department's investment in the Black tech community, with American frequently including Built with a seat at the table at their hiring panel pipeline regular meetings. That's right, they invite us to their regular business meetings. This American Airlines committee is led by Arnaud Mathieu, Managing Director of Technology, who is here to accept their award with Maya Liebman, Executive Vice President and Chief Information Officer for American Airlines. Our 2021 Blacks United in Leading Technology 2021 Allyship Sponsor of the Year, American Airlines.
Hi, I'm Maya Liebman, the Chief Information Officer for American Airlines. And on behalf of American Airlines, we gladly accept the Allyship Sponsor of the Year for 2021. It has been a tremendous honor for us, and we are very humbled to have been chosen. At American, we are deeply committed to bringing the best talent to our company, wherever it comes from, and making sure our talent can thrive here.
And it's especially true for the Black community. We see our relationship with Built as our contribution to help develop the Black technology talent in DFW. So thank you very much for recognizing us. And also thank you for the people of American Airlines that contributed to this relationship. In particular, the DEI team under Kevin Williams, and also the Black Professional Network under their president, Mary Smith.
And who are you?
And I'm Arno Matthew. I'm the Managing Director for Operations Technology.
Yes, and a huge reason behind having Built here. Thank you again so much.
Next up is Ally of the Year Award. Hello, I'm Stephen Collins. I landed my first job in tech this December, and I'm now an Associate Technical Consultant with Efficient. I've also volunteered to be the first Detroit Built chapter president. All individuals who provided demonstrated value to Built from September 29th, 2020 to December 15th, 2021, until its members were considered for this award. This is an individual award. Chapter leaders, board members, and staff at Built were ineligible for this award. Board committee members are eligible. Employees of a sponsor or of a partner are included in this category. We have two individuals who we first must recognize and mention. Mrs. Brenda Bierke, Senior Director of Cybersecurity of Target in Minneapolis, has been instrumental in providing benefits to Built. On her own volition, she reached out to Built to offer 5 $2,000 CISSP Scholarship Training Certification Awards, and then she upped the awards to include 6 people. Mrs. Bierke has been a true ally. In October, she accepted our invitation to serve on the board of directors, leaving her ineligible for an award. We do thank you, Brenda, for your contributions, and the organization looks forward to many more from you. Mr. John Kilpatrick, Senior Network Architect at NVIDIA in San Jose, has single-handedly supported a scholarship program informing Black technologists about the benefits of being a Certified Wireless Network Administrator, a CWNA. Mr. Kilpatrick has made several sizable cash donations to support the program, and he has led a CWNA orientation presentation for Built members. The finalists are Bobby Alexander with Kendrill in Dallas, Texas, Nicoria Johnson with Kader in Dallas, Texas, Kishmar Best with Reviture in Miami, Florida, Samias Davis with American Airlines in Fort Worth, Texas. The selection of the Ally of the Year was entirely subjective, based on recommendation by the Built Recognition Committee. In the committee's plan in recognition of all the many contributions by so many people, the Allyship Awards program was expanded to identify the Innovator and Impact Organization of the Year recipients too. This is it. The Blacks United in Leading Technology 2021 Allyship Ally of the Year Award goes to Mrs. Nicoria Johnson, Chief Diversity Officer for Kader. Mrs. Johnson has helped in so many ways, in front of the camera, and behind too. She has served as speaker at the North Texas Black Tech Symposium, and she is a frequent attendee at the Built in-person events held all across North Texas. Beyond the scenes, Mrs. Johnson served twice in Built's engagement in its signature program, Built with Senior Management. Mrs. Johnson participated with Amazon's Nashville Tech Center and with Turner Construction to improve diversity, equity, and inclusion. We at Built believe everything starts with a conversation. Mrs. Johnson has been an effective, willing participant to help others in the conversation to improve their DEI initiatives. We also thank Mrs. Johnson for securing our opening presentation for this event from CEO at Kader, for them to be an event sponsor. Our 2021 Ally of the Year, Mrs. Nicoria Johnson.
Wow, thank you, Stephen, and the entire Built family. I am so honored to accept this award. Working with Built has been an amazing experience so far. I feel like I am here to definitely serve our community, and I have no better partner to work with than Blacks United in Leading Technology. I'm very proud of the work that we've been able to do together, and I'm looking forward to continuing to lean in, deliver more, help with representation, and just really allow for whatever talents I do have to be used for the greater community. So I really appreciate the nomination, number one, the acknowledgement, and this award will travel with me for many years as one of the most important. So thank you again, Built family. I'm so honored and thankful.
Next up is Innovator of the Year Award. All organizations and individuals who provided demonstrated value to Built from September 29th, 2020 to December 15th, 2021, or to its members were considered for this award. Chapter leaders, board members, and staff at Built were ineligible for this award. Board committee members are eligible. Employees of a sponsor or of a partner are included in this category. The selection criteria for this award was entirely subjective and sought to identify those organizations or individuals which provided the greatest impact to Built members in innovative ways. This is it. The Blacks United in Leading Technology 2021 Allyship Innovator of the Year Award goes to Mr. Tamias Davis, Senior Project Manager at American Airlines. Tamias is being recognized for his passion at helping Black people get into tech while honoring his commitment to meet his employer's needs, providing creative solutions for events to engage audiences, inviting Built and its members to complimentary programs, evangelizing Built to other sponsors like IntelliCore, personally showing up to so many in-person events, more than any other sponsor. I have personally witnessed Tamias happily engage with Built activities and members. He is truly passionate about tech, people, and creating pathways to technical roles for people who look like him. His passion is infectious and inspiring to us all. Tamias, you are truly a leader, and on behalf of Built, we appreciate you faithfully working to bridge the diversity, equity, and inclusion gap in technology at American Airlines. Thank you.
I am humbled to receive this award. Being recognized is truly an honor. The gratitude I have for receiving this award does not compare to the appreciation I have for the relationship that has grown between Built and American Airlines. I cannot accept this award without honoring the team of leaders and peers who worked with me to build this partnership into what it is today. Thank you, Maya Lieberman, Phil Easter, Anar Mathayu, Terrence Kelly, Stammy Powell, and Justin Haynes. Technology connects the world and provides so many opportunities. Organizations such as Built and corporations like American Airlines recognize that many have the talent and aptitude, and all they need is an opportunity. When this collaboration occurs, you now have a coalition working together to ensure the people in technology represent the people utilizing technology. I am excited to continue this relationship and build a platform of opportunities. Thank you, Built, for this prestigious honor.
Last but not at all least is the Impact Organization of the Year Award. Hello, I'm Byron Purdy, Vice President Product Lead of Talent Acquisition at JP Morgan Chase & Company. I'm also one of the co-leaders of the North Texas chapter of Built. All organizations who provided demonstrated value to Built from September 29, 2020 to December 15, 2021, or its members were considered for this award. The selection criteria for this award was entirely subjective, but we sought to identify those organizations which provided greatest impact to Built members. Speaking for myself, I'm relatively new to the Built family, having joined just this past October, but I liked what I saw, so I wanted to get involved. My life journey as a Black man in technology, I know I have a lot of experiences that I can help and provide to others to make their transition in their journey in IT much better. It's really the big U and the small I in Built that resonated with me. And I enjoy how we can unite and come together and make an impact much greater than I could have done on my own. So with that, the Blacks United in Leading Technology 2021 Allyship Impact Organization of the Year Award goes to, the drum roll, Target Corporation. Some people may have mistakenly thought that these awards go to organizations that give the most money, but they be sadly mistaken because they don't. We looked at who makes the most and biggest overall contribution and how that organization provides support to Built and what levels we see people in that organization being involved in. We like finding a commitment from the top, which is then seen throughout many levels of the organization. As a company, Target has a commitment to inspire people to pursue careers in technology from underrepresented groups like Black people and women. Target supports its employees who volunteer with Built. For example, Nee Corshi has volunteered as the Twin Cities chapter president for Built. We have Brenda Berkey, who has volunteered to serve on the Built board in an officer role even as treasurer, and has spoken on several presentation panels. We also have Nicole McCoyan, who is a strong cybersecurity business leader who reaches out to us and provides innovative ideas on how Target can help. We also have senior engineer Anthony Holloman at Target, who gave one of our highest attended events on the introduction to ETL with Python. And sure enough, our next enterprise-wide presentation on January 20th is from lead executive recruiter at Target, Reggie Wooten. We've reveled in the awesome CISSP scholarships that Target provided, and they have been a gracious sponsor of this gala and the North Texas Black Symposium events. We have meaningful engagement by Target at multiple levels, from the Chief Information Security Officer to senior directors to other directors, all the way at the individual contributor level. We are pleased to select Target as the 2021 Allyship Awards Impact Organization of the Year.
Hi, I'm Rich Agostino, Chief Information Security Officer for Target. I'm thrilled to be able to accept this award on behalf of the team at Target. Increasing diversity in tech has been a priority for Target for many years, but it takes leadership to make a difference. Leadership from organizations like Built to bring the community together, and leadership from individuals who know you can't just put your name on something, you really have to step up and take action. Like Brenda Berkey and Nee Corshi from the Target team, who have done an outstanding job over this past year. So I'd like to thank you all for the recognition, thank the Built organization and leadership team for bringing us together, thank the entire Target team for the efforts you've made, and the entire community and every one of you that step up every day to make a difference. So thank you again for the recognition, and keep up the great work.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for continuing to stay engaged with us. We're now about to have an open microphone session. We'll discuss what is an ally, how can we continue to be impactful together, and we can also discuss being an ally. If you would like to join the conversation, simply click Ask to Join at the top right of your screen. We'll chat for about 10 minutes, and please feel free to join now. Hello, hello.
Hi, Keisha. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'll go on mute and wait for anybody else who might want to join for a few seconds, unless you have something you want to talk about with me.
Yes. I saw in the comments that you updated us on the new name for the Delta Path.
Yep. Yeah. Delta variant got to us a little bit on that one. So
yeah, I can see how I can see how that would prompt you guys to change the name.
Yeah, it may not be the best idea in the world to go with something named Delta at the current moment.
You know, I recently saw a new fraternity chapter, and their name is Omicron.
I thought you were about to say Delta Omicron.
No, it's Omicron, and I was like, wait, why? You know, but hey, each his own. Hi, Timothy. Hi, is it Hatim?
Yes, Hatim. My name is Hatim, and I'm out here in Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas. Okay, welcome, DFW area. What about you, Timothy?
Yes, hey, good afternoon. I'm in Albuquerque, New Mexico, but home is Houston, Texas.
Okay, another Texan. All right.
Yes.
Yep. I'm in Richmond, Virginia.
Richmond, Virginia. Oh, wow. How is the weather there, Kenan?
It's getting colder. We're supposed to get 4 or 5 inches of snow tomorrow, turning to freezing rain. So I grew up in South Carolina and Georgia, so it's a little colder than I was hoping.
You know, when we get a little sleet, we shut down. So I don't know how you guys do it with 4 to 5 inches.
It's not that great. I lived in Baltimore until about a year and a half ago, and they would go, man. The first winter I lived there, it was 0 degrees during the day for an entire week. I was like, I thought you had to go to Canada to get temperatures like this. It's 150 miles away from Richmond. Never experienced anything like that.
Wow. Hello, Bree. Welcome to the chat.
Thank you.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to discuss, and feel free to suggest a topic, but we're mostly discussing what is an ally, how can we continue to be impactful together, and your perspective as far as being an ally, what that means to you. You want to start, Kenan?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I want to give a quick shout out to a friend of mine, Nicole Daniels, who is now with Opportunity at Work and was formerly with Generation USA. She was how we got into contact with Peter. And so I want to give her a quick shout out. She's not here. I just want to give her a quick shout out and thank her, the Ether, for getting us connected. In terms of being an ally and what we're trying to do, I think the most important thing for me, in terms of being an ally, certainly for Built, but generally, is authenticity, and being able to put your money where your mouth is, so to speak. What we do and what Reviture does is all about who we hire, who we train, who we deploy, who we help launch their careers. We invest in our employees. That's how you get paid to get into tech. That's what PACE is all about. That's kind of what we're all about as an organization. And so working with Built made a lot of sense for us intrinsically, because that's what you guys are all about, right? We're trying to increase not only participation of people in color and technology in the tech ecosystem, but I think more importantly, at least for us and our mission, is grow the pie of the number of people who've historically been held out of this industry, who are empowered to believe that they have an opportunity in the industry. So that's what we're trying to do. We're kind of serving the foundation of the tech industry. We're trying to get more people interested in it. And diversity, equity, inclusion, of course, just like every company in America right now, is a huge piece of what we do. But interestingly enough, it's been a huge piece of what we do since the beginning of our company's foundation. We're about 48% non-white as a company. So we're the largest employer of entry-level tech talent in the United States. At 48% non-white, I think we're probably the most diverse employer of entry-level tech talent in the United States as well. So we are really excited to be here and really excited to be nominated and to be an ally for Built.
Okay, that is wonderful. I love that you say that you're growing the pie, because we all know that the basis of any opportunity is not just what you know, but more importantly, who you know. So you growing the pie is expanding that network to create opportunities for anyone that's been historically ignored or just inopportune, you know. So I appreciate you, Kenan, for opening that space for the demographic of people that we're serving. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. And Timothy, did you have any questions or did you have something to add?
Oh, certainly. Being an ally, first, I guess you break it down to the definition. An ally is a person or entity that's able to speak on your behalf at all times and all places. You have to make it part of your DNA. So when I believe in something, I let people know. If I believe in you, I'm going to go to the highest mountaintop. I'll take a bullet for you if I believe in what you're all about. But likewise, I'm going to play it out in the things that I do, the things that I say, how I act, and how the other things are in my life. That's being an ally. It's very sincere. It has to be consistent. And in some of the things that I saw today in both the organizations that are allies with Built, I was very, very pleased to see that. The organizations that I've worked with over the years, and even in building my own consultancy, we've been able to really work with organizations that we believe in what they're doing. And that way, as we work with them, but also as we leave that workplace and talk about our experiences, we can continue that alliance, because an alliance is continuation of being an ally. So I really want to speak to that. I wanted to applaud the organization for a great presentation today, for all the engagement in the expo, et cetera, but also in the ability to engage people at a really core root level. That way they know if in fact they can step forward as an ally, and when they do, they can hit the ground running. And I'm pleased to be one of those people that can do it.
Thank you, Timothy. I love how
Absolutely.
you put that. That's awesome. I like that your foundation is to have a believability in the person that you're working with. And it's also important for them to have, belief in themselves. But you extending that belief is very helpful and impactful as well.
Yes, indeed. And I thank Peter for encouraging me to continue to build the organizations that I'm leader of to be allies of Built as well.
Yes, that is great. Super duper great. And your message was actually in alignment with Kennan's. He spoke to authenticity, and so did you. And I love that, because that's an important factor when you're building community and
indeed
partnerships and collaborations. All right, next, Bree with, I believe, Synac.
That's right. Hi, everyone. How's everybody doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank
Welcome to the
you.
party.
Yeah, I would love to share a little bit about what it means to be an ally. I think mainly it's kind of knowing that it's going to be continuous work, that it's really going to be an ongoing journey. Like, we don't, it's not about putting on a pin and saying I'm an ally. It's knowing that getting curious and asking the right questions and not being afraid to ask the right or wrong questions with good intentions is part of that journey. And I was listening to what Trina Hill had said, which kind of struck me as well. I was thinking about just building relationships in the Black community, and she mentioned this planting seeds, and that really struck me, where it's about not just promoting, but like elevating, opening up doors for individuals in the community, and really being that is being the ally. But it's continuous, and I don't think it's something that you can just kind of say we're done. It's going to be an ongoing thing for the journey.
That's awesome. I love that you referenced planting seeds. A lot of us, including allies and the participants and the people that you help, we don't know what we're truly capable of until we're expanded these opportunities. You did mention learning and growing once you kind of get into these communities. So it's all a learning and growing process for us all. The more you know, the more you learn, the more you know. The more you learn, you know nothing. It's a continuous process as we continue to grow and build our communities. Have Tim, did you have anything that you'd like to add?
I would say that continue developing the community and try to pay back, actually, and creating a different path for people, and share also your experience or what was the struggle before, and develop it in a different way so you can help your new joiners or new community also.
I would agree with that. I think it is important to share your learned experiences. That's what is it? Each one teach one, or each one reach one? Teach one, reach one. Yeah. When you share your learned experiences, you can help people who come after you, help them optimize their experience and help them hopefully build a more successful experience for the next person that comes after them. And I'll go to my next question. I asked first, what is an ally? So let's talk about how we can continue to be impactful together. What do you think are some ways that we can be impactful together? Kenan, I'll start with you.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, guys. Well, Peter, I think, mentioned the Get Paid into Tech program that we started with Built last year. I think we're seeking to increase the impact of that program. Everything that we do is centered around getting people jobs. They happen to be jobs with us, so we're in a pretty good position to make that happen. I'm really interested in seeking how we can make or create a value proposition or a pathway into technology careers that not only allows folks from groups who've been historically held out of this industry to have a pathway into this industry, and not only to grow the pie, but also to provide a higher level of value than just, hey, we're going to get you a job. Hey, we're going to train you. We're going to pay you while you're training. Then we're going to get you into a Fortune 500 company. All those things are great. But what we're missing there is, how do we create that value chain and make it not just what we do as Revature, but how do we make it what the industry is supposed to be? How do we get great partners like our clients? How do we get great partners like companies that aren't our clients, the federal government, state governments, anybody that's in a community, which is everybody? How do we get them to start investing in talent and finding a way to increase impact way before jobs are even in the picture, right? How do we start working with freshmen in high school? How do we start working with seventh graders? How do we start growing the pie from a fundamental level? And so what I would want to do personally, and what I want to do with Build over the next several years, is to think through how we can start to impact folks, whether or not they come work for us, whether or not they end up as software engineers or cybersecurity professionals or database architects or CRM administrators or whatever. How are we making sure that people feel like they can be empowered to get into technology? So that's how I want to take it forward, in terms of how do we keep going on this momentum? How do we go back further into the journey of a technologist's career or life, and impact them positively earlier on in the process?
You're muted.
Sorry about that. I love the strategy in all the areas of your process and empowering your participants' journey at Revature. I would like to extend this question to Timothy, then Bree, then Hatem.
Can you restate the question?
How can we continue to be impactful together?
We can continue to be impactful together, first, by engaging people where they are. When you first meet someone and you engage them and really listen to their story, you're able to help articulate what you are hearing, letting them know actively, I'm hearing you say this. It reinforces and solidifies what they're coming from. A couple of speakers have talked about knowing your foundation and building upon that. And a person that's moving into technology really needs to have that confidence and know that they should be self-assured, but also know that the tangents and the other support systems there for them to grow upon. And we can help reinforce that by letting people have a crosswalk between what they're already doing, talking to that, and reinforcing, I already do that well. And in this industry, that's called this. Some of the things that you already are doing. I teach a technology and supply chain technology quality management piece for University of Houston. And I always start off the course with, how many of you have ever done project management? And so many people don't raise their hand. And I say, if you've ever planned out anything, you're starting with a blank slate and you're starting to build, you have the ability to project management. Then you just go into the nuts and bolts, et cetera. So I think that importance of meeting people where they are, letting them know you're ready to work with them, build upon that. That's how we engage people. We build the future. And that way more people are going to come toward technology. And some people that are even dabbling in it are going to have that reinforced ideology that they can step in and be successful. Because I look at what we have around us, and even this panel here, we're ready to support them. And even as I work with people as an advisor, I just know that so many more people out there are doubting themselves. Let's continue to encourage and let's continue to build a pathway for them.
I love that. It sounds like you're speaking to transferable skills.
Oh, absolutely.
Meeting people where they are to build a solid foundation. It sounds like a start to a successful journey. All right, next, Bree, and we'll finish up. I think we just have a few more minutes, but Bree, would you like to speak on that next?
I can keep it kind of short. No, sure. Being impactful together, I think about what many different organizations are doing. And I think if we look at a big picture, a lot of us are trying to do the same thing in just different ways. And so I like to think of us being really open to listening, Tim, and hearing about what other people are doing. What is your organization doing? What are your concerns? And how can we get creative, maybe get out of our box for the second and work together and be thought partners. Adrian in our booth today shared a statistic about young Black youth and the statistic about how there's such a gap in the opportunity for these training skills in tech. I'm learning and thinking creatively about ways that we can partner, whether it's organizations, individuals, with each other under that same umbrella.
I love that, Bree. You said that as organizations, we're doing the same thing in different ways. And what I pretty much heard is how can we empathize with each other so that we can work together to think better for better solutions.
100%. Yep.
That's great, Bree. And Hatem, do you have anything to add? This will be our last few seconds before we continue.
Well, I don't have anything, but communication with people, even if we give them training, follow up with them, see how they get the training, what's the benefits they get it, for example, and did they implement it in their work, or did they struggle furthermore, something like that. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. Communication is important and it's impactful. In addition to communication, I think we should think about comprehension. But sometimes we hear the same things, but we comprehend, totally different things. And with that being said, we'll close out this open mic session. Thank you all for joining. We're going to move on in the program, and I have some door prizes to award. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
This has been an amazing, wonderful gala. It's me again, Peter, and I hope you've had a good time getting dressed up and staying at home on a Saturday. You could have been a million other places other than watching yet another online presentation. We felt it was important to start 2022 with thanking our supporters, and I'm happy you felt so too. I do have just a few brief, short closing comments on the key message from today's event, what's an ally? But first, I'd like to thank everyone who's attended today. Today is a special day, as yesterday Built crossed 10,000 members, and it's because of you. From the presentations you saw, couldn't you feel the energy? It was said over and over, together, we are on to something here. The talk about family, uniting people together, and making a difference in the world. You are all so amazing. I want to thank the recognition committee who put on this event, Cameron, Carrie, Darius, Justin, and our hostess, Kanisha. Well, she's been modest throughout today's activity, but last month she was recognized as Built 2021 Member of the Year. I thank you, Kanisha, and I'm so pleased to have her on our board and also on my North Texas team. And I'd like to thank our award presenters, Van Richardson, John Melanson, Stephen Collins, and Byron Purdy. Most all of our presenters talked about how they grew up, how opportunities in technology were shut off or held away from many of them. Well, that was true for me too. My story is a little different, but in many ways the same. Now, I did say I had just a few words, so I'm not going to go into that long story, but the most striking part of my story, at least for me, is where I am today. Many of you may know I'm both the chairman of the board and executive director for Built. And alongside with John, we co-founded Built because things today are different. For 2022, we're working hard to split apart some of the combined roles we have, and I'm entirely, completely committed to passing off some of the wealth so others could jump in and have some of the fun. We've had some amazing speakers and presentations today, and I was taken aback by the titles, the competence, insightfulness, the wisdom shared by so many, which is what we do on the regular. There was one note in today's presentation. I don't know if you heard it. Stephen Collins was a student when we met him first back in November last year, and already he's landed his first job in tech. He's volunteered to lead the Detroit chapter of Built, and he's here too on a Saturday giving back. Being an ally really works. What did Jarek say? His flashlight principle, you shine a light on your path when you brighten the way for others. It's rather simple. Just be an ally. We've talked about it for over an hour today. Let's keep it simple. If you've been with us here, the message should be clear, but what is an ally? Think of who your first ally was. It was your mother, but in some cases, particularly more so in the Black community, it may not have been. Allies, though, allow you to grow, and by definition, allies also allow people to make mistakes. There is something subtle we do here at Build, and that is we give people a chance. Me personally, I wasn't invited onto any nonprofit boards until my late 40s. And that was only after I had started a software company and moved from an employee world to the entrepreneurial world. Essentially, I had to start my own company to get to the top and break past the barrier that had closed in on me. Here at Built, we give people leadership opportunities much earlier in their careers than they may have had gotten otherwise. That is part of our mission. We give and take chances. Well, I'd say it a little differently. We accept prudent risks in how we grow our leadership. One of our customer constituents that we serve is our leaders, and we help them advance their leadership skills, and we help them build their personal brand. Now, I said people. We give people leadership opportunities as we don't discriminate, and people who are about our mission is who we are all about too. It's tough in life if you don't have anyone to guide you. Hopefully, we all had someone to breathe into our lives and encourage us further. Allies lead and help pave the way for others to follow. It's intentional, as we heard time and time again today. The change we all would like to see starts at the top, and we are ready to engage at all levels to help advance the conversation. Allies care for other people, and we all need help across the aisle. Allies love. They love themselves, they love people, and they love life. Is that you? They love people who are different than them. You can't be an ally or be an effective ally without operating from a position of love. And allies yearn for a better world. It's a passion, a calling, a fervor. The status quo, which lacks diversity in tech, is simply not sufficient. Allies feel this way. So by now, we should all be able to recognize an ally. They give back, they help others along, and they allow people to grow. Michael talked about how he was almost afraid of speaking in public, but he pushed past his fears and now seeks to touch other people's lives. Jarek is a natural and spoke about being a tech leader at 23 and is a senior vice president at 34. Implicit in the definition of an ally is someone making a conscious decision to come alongside someone else. And they are therefore leaders. It doesn't have to take much, but it does take something. You can't be an ally accidentally. Love is the greatest of all of these. And once you feel and recognize the joy in helping others, allyship becomes a way of life. I think I saw the emotion outpouring from Nikori as she spoke. Did you feel it too? I thought I was in church for a moment, and as the love we have for what we do and for what we do for others can make our shared goal in diversity become a reality. Kanisha spoke of Tomias's passion and the individuals who we've recognized who yearn to increase the representation of Black people in tech. Tomias is on fire, constantly connecting people to help get people jobs and looking for ways to bring about a better reality for all. An ally is good, but to make a difference in the world, we need allies. Allies find innovative ways to solve complex problems, and people can make a difference for each other in small yet meaningful ways. We were putting in our mentor program, which led me to be talking to Sezzle's general counsel, and the question came up about who reviews our contracts at Built. And Sezzle's general counsel volunteered to help us with some of our foundational documents. That was an innovative way, yet meaningful way to be an ally. Allies are exceptional people on the planet, and we all know that nonprofits, associations, and foundations help better the world. American Airlines' plan for a full years of program is exactly the approach we'd like to see all allies take. Lean in, become engaged, and make a commitment over longer planning horizons. Allies know it takes time, and they invest in communities where they serve, and Target has a long, steady commitment. Allies are in it for the long haul. Now I use a simple play on letters to emphasize the most important concept. You can't have allies without you. Don't be left out. Get in the conversation, make a difference, and feel good. Thank you much for attending. We love you at Built, and we hope to see you again soon.
Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you coming out today. We appreciate your support, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend.